Right, so come to sitting on your bums. You'll have a belt and a block nearby. And we're going to have one leg. So let's start with the right leg. The right leg is bent, but we're resting on the sole of the foot. And then the other leg is bent as though you were taking a cross-legged position. And we're just going to sit like that for a moment. If you want to sit on something, if that doesn't quite feel comfortable, then you can sit on something. And if you need to sort of shuffle things around a little bit to get comfortable, because we're going to stay here for a little bit of time, not too long, but a little bit of time. So adjust if you need to. And then let's take the left hand and we're just going to press very gently into the inside of the leg with the left hand. And then the right hand is coming behind us, light fingertip pressure. So the right hand's supporting us. So you don't have to be, leaning back into the hand. It's just sort of resting lightly on the floor behind you to help you, just to help maintain the feeling of being lifted. And then we're pressing into this right knee, and the right knee is going to resist that pressure. And we're going to take a little twist to the left. So turning, while maintaining that. So there's quite a lot going on here. Light fingertip pressure into the right hand. Quite strong dynamic action with the right leg. Pressing away with the left hand and turning the torso to the left. And then relax. So don't worry about applying any pressure, just sitting. We're going to take the hand that's behind us. We're going to press it in, the arm into the inside of the thigh. And then we're going to turn a little bit more towards the left. So the left hand now comes behind you. And again, it's sort of quite a sort of, I'm going to keep my palm open on the right side. So pressing into the right leg with the right arm, and the right leg is going to resist and turning. And then relax. And you can come back to center and just rest for a moment. So we're going to turn again so that our left hand presses into the inside of the left thigh. The right hand comes behind. And this time we're turning, twisting towards the right. See how that feels? A bit different. But there's quite a lot of action going on between the hand and the thigh. So there's a lot of potential for strengthening here on the inside leg and also the core, because you need to sort of stabilize a bit. So let's maintain that pressure, keep breathing, and then completely relax. We can turn back to center. So we're going to take a slightly different twist to the right again. We can bring the right foot in a little bit. We're going to take the left arm and we're going to hug that right knee. So I am bringing my right foot in quite a bit more to be able to comfortably hug it. And then the right hand comes behind you again to support you. And this time you're going to activate your outer thigh. So you're kind of pushing into the arm with the leg, the outer right leg. And we want to feel very upright here. We're not sort of slouching into this. So although it's not the strongest kind of core workout, it's nonetheless, there's quite a lot going on to maintain that upright position. And you can look over your right shoulder if you're comfortable to. And then relax everything back to center. And we'll just take a cross-legged position and rest the hands on the legs and pause here for a moment. Now we'll go the other way. So we're gonna, this time it's the left foot that's gonna be flat on the floor. And we're gonna take the left hand behind us just to support us. So it's kind of light pressure down into the floor through the fingers of the left hand. And then the right hand is pressing into the left thigh, and the left thigh is pushing back. And turn, turn, turn. Sorry, I realise I've given you the wrong instruction. We're turning towards the right. And yeah, you can sort of try and maintain that pressure, but it's okay to kind of loosen off a little bit. And then release, and we'll just rest back at center. So this time the left arm's coming on to the inside of the thigh. We're going to activate that left palm, make it quite strong, and we're turning again to the right. But yeah, it's a different sort of more, I think, easier sort of twist. But still, there's quite a lot of activity between the leg and the arms, and pressing and resisting. You can look over your right shoulder. And then release and come back to center. So we're going to bring that left foot in a bit more. We're going to hug that left knee with the right arm. And this time the knee's pressing away and the arm is pulling in, and the left hand comes behind you. So yeah, just exploring lots of different sort of ways of twisting. And then come back to center. We'll just take a cross-legged position and rest for a moment. hands on the legs, on the knees. Now let's come onto the soles of the feet. So we're bending the legs. And you can reach between the legs and grab hold of your big toes with your thumb, forefinger, middle finger, make like a little loop and loop around the big toes. If that's not working for you, you could hold the outside of the foot as another option. But we're, just sort of gently drawing ourselves down between the legs. So it's sort of like a squat a little bit, except our bums are on the floor. You can drop the head. Breathe into the back of the body. We're letting the torso sort of really sort of sink down, letting gravity take effect here. And also what will be happening is you'll be feeling, I think, the arms sort of moving. So we're basically setting ourselves up so that the arms are on the inside of the leg. And then maybe the knees can kind of squeeze a little bit into the arms and the arms can push back into the knees. Do that a few times. And then we're coming up. We're going to bend the left leg. We're going to bend the right leg so that the foot comes behind us. So we're sitting with the left leg in front, and the right leg is, the right foot is coming behind us, and we can lean into the left hand, and we can take hold of the right foot, and we can have a go at squeezing the foot in. And you're going to feel that through the front of the thigh. Quite strong. If it's not very strong for you, then you can lift that knee and maybe move it back a little bit, or you can activate the front of the thighs by sort of pressing forward with the front of the thigh, and see if that helps you go a bit stronger into the thigh. And take time to breathe here. And then we'll go to the other side. So release the foot. We're bringing that leg in front, and we're taking the other leg behind. We're taking hold of the foot. We're pressing the foot in. You can really lean into this right hand and pull that foot up in towards the buttock as much as you can bear to. Press that left thigh forward. And you can also press the foot more firmly into the hand. That can feel kind of another way of deepening it, pressing, activating the foot more. Done. Release the foot. Just take a cross-legged position, and we're going to come a little bit lower than perhaps you would normally. So take the hands quite wide. You can be on the fingertips. We're trying to keep a sense of the line of the spine, so we're not rounding the back. We're just letting a sense of the spine lengthening. Moving forward, slow, smooth. And then coming up. And then we're going to come into all fours position. Spread the fingers, press down through the joints of the hand. Press into the front of the feet too. And round your back, chin towards your chest. And then see if you can lift your knees a little. So we stay on the front of the foot, so we're not on the balls of the feet here. It's a little bit different. Feel the lower belly. We're trying to engage the abdominals around the back. So the space in the front body, space in the back body, more space in the back body, but a little bit of contraction in the front body. And then come down. Just take a neutral position for a moment, and then stretch the chest forward, tone the belly, so a little bit of a back arch. Stretch across the collarbone, throat. And then bum back towards your heels, tuck your toes under, come into downward dog. I'm going to take quite a long downward dog here. So take the hands a little further away, to a bit more extended than your normal, but bend the knees if you need to. Bring your feet together, pick up your right foot. So you're taking three-legged dog. And then we're going to take a little sort of twisting sort of plank here. So we're going to swing that knee forward and bring it over towards the opposite elbow. And maybe you can press it right up into the opposite elbow. Hold it if you can. And then we're going all the way back to three-legged dog. And once again, bring the knee in, over towards the opposite elbow. Hold it if you can. It's quite tough, this. And then all the way back, three-legged dog. Once again, knee in, over towards the opposite elbow. Try and keep even weight into the hands, because you'll want to usually sort of shift your weight a little bit here, but we're trying to maintain evenness. And then we're going to take the foot back one last time and step it forward into a lunge. So the foot between the hands. We'll just straighten up that front leg for a moment, so you get to stretch out the hamstrings, the back of the knee, the calf. You can kind of wobble that foot around a little bit. It's quite nice to do that. Flex the toes and point the toes. Breathing. And obviously, if you need to bend any more, then go for it. Do a bigger bend. And then come forward. So we've got the knee above the ankle again. We're coming all the way up. And we're going to do a little maneuver on the back knee. So we take a warrior, a kneeling warrior. So it's like warrior 2. You can bring your hands onto your hips, hip bones. And the hip bones are pointing now towards the long edge of the mat. Now we're going to take the back of the hand and just press gently into the inside thigh, and the inside thigh is going to press back a little. Just to sort of activate and strengthen those inside thigh muscles, which will help you keep your knee in alignment. Just check the alignment of the knee. We want it above the ankle and ideally in line with the second and third toe. And then we'll take the hand and press into the outside of the thigh. And the outside of the thigh is going to press back. So we're really working those inner outer thighs. And then we're going to do gate pose. By the way, because we're kneeling, if this feels a bit much on your knees and you need to pad up, then fold over your mat. I just think sometimes that makes it a bit different, a bit easier. And then we're going to straighten up that right leg, and you're going to really pull the toes back towards you. We're going to take our arms up to shoulder height. And then we're going to take a little side bend. So the right hand comes to the back of the hand comes to the somewhere on the leg. And maybe this other arm will come up and over. If your shoulders are tight, you might be better just bending the arm, having the hand behind the head. It's called gate pose, Parigasana. Big, intense side stretch. If you want to slide that hand down towards the foot, the right hand, you can do that, but maybe don't overextend. You know, you get a chance to look at these side bends again in a minute. You don't have to overextend here. We're going to come up. We're going to flatten that right foot on, and we're going to sort of come into a version of Parsvakonasana. So it's not quite a Parsvakonasana, but we get to really work on that side stretch. So we're taking the left hand down, and this is where a block could be helpful. If you feel like your hands aren't going to come up to the floor, then bring your hand onto a block. So we're really pressing down into that right little toe edge. And then we're going to reach, take this right hand, sweep it in front of the body and find that line from the outer ankle to the raised fingertips. You can really press down with the left hand too. And don't slump into the left shoulder. Sometimes you end up collapsing a bit in the shoulder. It's not quite a Parsvakonasana, but it's a good sort of warm up, more like a side plank. Keep breathing and reaching. And then that hand's going to come all the way down. And we're going to shuffle or sort of walk our hands all the way round to that right foot, and the back knee foot is maneuvering. So we're coming back into that sort of runner's lunge. Hold that for a moment. And then forward into, so the right knee is over the right ankle again. We're back in the lunge position. We'll take a little twist. So we'll press down through the left hand, very firmly lift the right fingers, hand, arm, turn to the right. Keep breathing. And then both hands back to the floor. Step back into a three-legged dog. And we'll just finish with one more of those twisty planks. So we're going to take that right knee all the way over to the left opposite elbow. Maybe you can hold it here for a moment. And then all the way back to downward dog. We'll bring the knees down. We're going to drop the chest to the floor, Anahatasana, or some people call this puppy pose. So knees above the hips, chest down to the floor. And then we're going to slide our bodies forward, come into a cobra shape. So the whole of the body is the legs, the hips, the belly's on the floor. Slide your hands back to your lower ribs. For this, we're not actually going to use our hands too much. We're going to make it more about core strength. So you can have your hand, you could press into them a little, but let's see if we can minimize what we do with our hands and engage the feet, engage the inner thighs, press everything together. Little gentle squeeze of the buttocks. Squeeze your shoulder blades together. Shoulders back towards your heels. And if you're lifting, you know, it's just, it may only be very little because you're not going to be using your hands too much. No straining. You can press your pubic bone down too. Rest your head down for a moment, relax the body. Press down through your hands. You're coming all the way back to just a very brief child pose. It's not really a rest, just a very brief pause here. And then back up to downward dog. So it's quite a long downward dog, as we did earlier. So maybe hands a little further away from the feet, or you can walk your feet back. We're lifting the left foot. So three-legged dog. We're going to take that knee over to the opposite elbow and see if you can press it. And all the way back to three-legged dog. And again, we're doing 3 of these. So if you need to come out sooner, do, you know, it's a question, sort of building strength, this. So, and one more. Taking the foot back to three-legged dog. And then we're stepping forward. So we've got the foot between the hands. We're going to just come into that sort of runner's lunge. So we're straightening up the leg. You can come right onto the fingertips of the hands, so you've got a bit more height. So there's no, hopefully that makes it feel a little easier. You can go low. You can bend the knee if you need to. You can move that foot around, so flex the toes and point the toes. Keep breathing. And then we're coming forward, so knee above the ankle. and from here all the way up. So I'm just going to turn around so you can see you better. So we're doing that little maneuver where we take that right foot back behind us, and if you need to pad up under the right knee, because we are going to be kneeling for a little bit of time, put a cushion or something under it. And then the hand, back of the hand is pressing into the inside thigh. So it's a kneeling warrior, and the hip bones point to the long edge of the mat, hopefully evenly. And the knee above the ankle, and we're just sort of pressing into the inside thigh, and the inside thigh is pressing back. And then we're going to take the hand and press into the outside thigh, and the outside thigh presses back. So we've got that feeling of really engaging the whole of the leg. And that has the benefit of, it will keep your knees strong or well aligned. So inside thigh will stop you taking a sort of Charlie Chaplin kind of gait, and the outside thigh will prevent like knock knees, that kind of thing. So we're going to straighten up that left leg. We're going to lift our arms up to shoulder height, palms up, really extending through the fingers. I would like to really pull my toes back, so really flex the toes, and then side bend, Parigasana. If you feel you want to slide the hand all the way down the leg towards the foot, you can do that. In a moment, we will come up. So just when you're ready, come all the way up. And then we take that side bend towards the floor. So if you feel like you need something under the hand. So it's like, oh, and sorry, I forgot to say, we're pressing the foot down now. Pressing the outer, especially the little toe edge of the foot, especially the ankle. Outer ankle. And then the other arm, we're going to bring it in front of the face. Find that line. Really making space. Breathe into the ribs, the armpit, the waist. Press into the little toe edge. And then we're bringing the hand down, and we're going to move back towards that left foot. So the right back foot is turning back towards the edge of the mat. So we're kind of coming into that long lunge that we started in. You can be on the fingertips if you're a bit stiff, then maybe you need that little bit of extra height. It makes a difference sometimes. And pull the toes back towards you, that can feel really good. And then move forward so the knee comes over the ankle, pressing down through the right hand, twisting up with the left. Keep that pressing down so both hands down, and we're going to swing back to three-legged dog. So pick up the left foot, take it all the way back. And then the knee comes over towards the opposite elbow. And back. And down. Both feet down. Knees down, chest down, puppy pose or Anahatasana. Dropping your chest. All the way forward to Cobra. So let's just see if we can do a Cobra without the hands again. So we're pressing the pubic bone down, we're squeezing the thighs together, the feet together, pressing down through the toes. And you can lift, pick up your shoulders away from the floor and away back from your ears. It doesn't have to be much of a lift, so don't feel, while you're building strength, it's better to stay low than to strain. If you do want to press into your hands a little bit, of course you can. If you feel like that, that's going to be better. But it's nice to sort of try the version without using your hands. So rest your head down, relax your thighs, relax your buttocks. And then we're going to come up by pressing the floor away and back to child pose. It's just a moment here in child pose. Not much of a rest here, just very momentary. And all the way up to downward dog. So if you're using a block, make sure it's at the front of your mat because we'll use it in a second. Oops. We're picking up the right foot. We're going to step it forward between the hands. We're going to come into warrior two. So the back foot pressed down. We're going to lead with the left arm, coming all the way up into our warrior two. And again, you can kind of go a bit deeper if you want to, by taking the back foot away, making this front thigh a little more parallel. Remember what we did earlier where we were kind of pressing into the outer thigh, pressing into the inner thigh to keep the knee nicely aligned. So just check in with your knee that it isn't floating in or out. And then we're going to take our arms up to shoulder height. My tendency is for my torso to drift over that bent leg. So I think that's quite a common thing. So really making sure that you're upright in the torso. Turn the palms up, turn the elbow creases up and the biceps. And then press the hands down, but try and keep that feeling of uplift in the upper arm. Breathe in. You look over the fingers of the right hand. So we're going to pick up the back heel, the left heel, and then we're going to sweep all the way down into a twist so that the left hand comes down, the right hand comes up. bring your right hand down to the little toe edge. Sorry, to the big toe edge, sorry. And then we're going to come up again into warrior two, so leading with the left hand all the way up. Turn the palms up. Turn the elbow creases up, the biceps up. And then you can turn your hands down, but try and keep that uplift in the upper arm. It's quite strong in the arms. We're going to pick up the back heel. We're going to come back into that twist. And then we're using the block. So we're taking the block in the right hand. The right hand's coming to the little toe edge of the foot. We're taking Parsvakonasana. So thigh off the front leg. Maybe you can go a little bit lower than perhaps you would normally. We've done a bit of warm up for this. Let's just see. And then the left hand, we're going to swing it in front of the body. Press down with the right hand, reach up with the left. Look up under your armpit. It's hard work. For me anyway. Breathing. There is a little bit of a rotation in the chest. Well done. You're doing great. And then we're bringing that raised hand down. You can discard your block now. So both hands are on the floor. And then we're going to swing back into three-legged dog. And feet back together. We'll go the other way. So we're lifting the left foot. We're stepping it forward between the hands. So we're coming up to warrior again. So flatten that back foot, and we're leading with the right arm. Just going to turn around. So, arm, shoulder height. Turn your palms up. Press down into the little toe edge of that outer ankle. Sorry, that doesn't make sense. The outer ankle on the back foot. Turn the biceps, turn the elbow creases, and then palms down. Keep reaching away with your fingers, and maybe you can go a little deeper with the hip into that front thigh. We're lifting the back heel. We're going to swing down into a twist. So the right hand down, the left hand lifted. And then let's just swap hands. Left hand to the big toe edge. We're preparing to come back up into warrior. So just when you're ready, leading with that right hand. Find your warrior again. Turn the palms up, turn the elbow creases up. Really extend. You want to feel like the collarbone is, the chest is really being stretched. Turn the palms down. Try and keep that uplift in the upper arm. You have such strong arms. You're taking your clothes off, so that's a good sign. You're working hard. We'll come back into a twist. So we're lifting the back heel. We're going to swing down with the right hand. Lift up with the left. And then this is where we're using the block. So we're doing our Parsvakonasana. So if you're using a block, it comes to the little toe edge. It's just, I think it makes such a difference when you're working this pose. So you're going to press down very firmly with that left hand to the floor or to the block. You're picking up the back knee, pressing down into the little toe edge of that foot, and then the other arm, find that line from the ankle into the fingers. Breathe into the waist, into the ribs, into the armpit. Keep reaching with those raised fingers, right fingers, pressing back into the right foot. Well done. And then both hands down. You probably want to get rid of your block for this. Swing back into three-legged dog. Feet together, knees down, and take a child pose, have a rest. So in a moment we will come up to standing, and we're going to use our belts, and I want you to just do a little balance, which will kind of work on everything that we've been working on and up to now. So yeah, so when you're ready, you can slowly come up into a downward dog. Walk the hands and feet together. Pick up your belt if you've got one. Little bend in the knees coming all the way up to standing. And yeah, just stand so that you can comfortably, easily see me. So we're doing a balancing pose. If you feel, yeah, I was going to suggest that we do this with a chair, but actually I think you don't need it. It's quite interesting to try it with a chair, but I think we'll do the full pose and then we can revisit the chair version another time. So we're going to take our weight over into we're making a little loop with our belt, and we're going to loop that belt over the left foot. So we're going to take the weight very firmly into the right foot. I've actually got a belt with a buckle on it, so I naturally can then create a loop. But if you don't have such a thing, then just, yeah, it's not going to be the perfect loop, but that's fine. So make that right leg really, really solid. Lift the heel of the left leg. We're going to turn the knee out, so we're getting that sort of rotation of the thigh, the hip, that we create when we're doing a warrior 2 or the Parsvakonasana. And then we're going to lift the foot, and this is where we use the belt. We're looping the belt around the ball of the foot. Now, for now, we're not going to lift the foot too high. We're just going to have it poised like this. In a minute, we might go to something stronger. And just as we did at the beginning, we're just kind of pressing the arm into the knee, and the knee presses back into the arm. So try and get a little bit more opening. I'm holding the end of my belt with my right hand, but if you feel like for balance you'd be happier having the right hand out to the side or on your hip, do that instead. And the thing that's really important here is for that right leg to be rock solid, very stable. If there's a little bend in the leg, then see if you can just work to straighten it. And if it feels very difficult, it might be that you just need to drop the left leg a bit not work that leg so hard to maintain the strength in the right leg. Sorry, I'm wobbling. I'm not demonstrating very well there. So let's release the foot, hold the knee if you can. And then slowly, with control, we're putting the foot down. And readjust, recalibrating so your weight's evenly distributed between the feet. Have a pause, take a pause. And then let's just shift the weight onto the left foot. So we're holding the belt in the other hand now. We're turning the right, we're lifting the right heel and turning the toes out a little bit. So we've got that sort of, it's not quite as exaggerated as in a Warrior Two, but beginning to get that shape, opening of the hips. And then when you're ready, lifting the foot and we loop the belt through the ball of the foot. And then let's see if we can really activate the arm and the leg. So arm presses into the leg, leg presses back. And this left leg is rock solid. So if you need to drop the foot for that to be so, then do that. Maybe the priority is the standing leg. And so, well done. So we're taking the belt away, and can we maintain the lift in the knee and the foot? And then come down. It's quite a hard workout. So we're going to go do something a little stronger now. You did really well, by the way. It's quite tough. If you feel like you want some support from a wall, then or a chair, then please do, step towards your wall or a bit of furniture or something that's going to stabilize you. If you feel that's going to help. So we're going to take it a little bit stronger. So we're lifting the left heel, make that right leg solid. Turn the knees out, toes out on the right side. Sorry, left side. And then lift the foot. We're looping around the ball of the foot. And this is where, if you want to go stronger, you can. So the full pose is to lift the foot. But you have to figure out you have to kind of balance it out. We want the stability, and we want the standing leg really powerful, strong. So maybe you just don't go very far with it. Here we go. And although we are working to support the foot with the arm, can you lessen the support? Can you kind of loosen off a tiny bit and see if that leg can hold itself? And then let's remove the the belt. It's hard, that. And then with control, bring the foot down. So if you felt like you would have benefited from a bit of extra support, then please do take a chair or something. It's fine to do that. So we're going to the other side. Left leg strong, turn the right, lift the right heel, turn the knee out. We're already lifting the foot, loop the belt over the ball of the foot. Just see where you can go with that. And bearing in mind that you want to kind of, for it to be sustainable, so ideally the leg can hold its own weight, which obviously, you know, that's a whole work in progress to get to that point, but experiment with lessening the support from the arm. The supporting leg is straight. It will want to bend a little bit. Hard, isn't it? You're doing really well. So let's come out. Can you do that by first removing the belt, and then with control bring the foot down. Let's just put the belt to one side. Hands to the heart. Very, very strong on your legs. You have very strong legs. Now, I don't know if you have thinking something nice for the back, for the thighs. What I wanted to do was something with a wall, but if you don't have a wall, then that's fine. You don't necessarily need it. But I'll quickly show you. It's a lunge. But if you did have the option of the wall, if you want something. Actually, I'll show you the more traditional version. So you're taking a lunge, and then you pick up the back foot. But if you have the option of using a wall, it's a really nice thing to try. So with the wall version, you bring one foot all the way up, the shin and the foot all the way up, so it's flat against the wall, and then you come. So basically, you don't have to use your hand to hold the back foot because you're pressing it into the wall. I can't really. Let's see if I can demonstrate against this fridge. See what I mean. So it's just a lunge, but we've got something to press into. And therefore you don't have to use your hands. So hopefully that, yeah, something to play with. And if you don't have any furniture or a bit of wall that you can use, or door would work, door as well. Now, obviously, everyone's going to be at a slightly different phase with this, so I would recommend padding up under the back knee. I'm just going to hold this for a bit, so you can work your way up to a more upright position. But maybe at the beginning, you want to sort of stay quite low as you ease yourself into it. The front leg, knee above the ankle if you can. I hope that. Is that? Yeah, that looks good, Karen. It's pretty intense. We're going to spend a little bit of time in this. So take time to sort of pad up so that you can relax into it. So then it's just supporting the leg means that you don't have to reach back for it. So it's a little bit more easy on the shoulders, and just another way of working it a bit stronger, I find. So it is a very deep and intense stretch. It does take a bit of time, so really do sort of commit to your breath. And if the intensity is too much, then just come out a little bit. Quite good for the feet as well. The foot that you're pressing back against the wall or pushing into the hand is quite nice and invigorating for the foot as well. Well done. So Stay there for another 2 breaths. And then when you're ready, you can do the other side. So just be gentle coming out. It's a bit awkward to get into. Leg pressed right up against. And remember, you can stay low. You don't have to come right up into the full upright lunge. I'm padding up my knee. And if you're taking the option of having your foot pressed up against a wall or a bit of furniture, then see if you can lean back into that bit of wall or furniture or door or whatever it is. I think this is the strongest quad stretch that I can think of. And remember that these stretches, you know, the body does need a bit of time to come into them and for the release to happen. So just, yeah, if you're practicing this at home, a couple of minutes each side is good, even if it feels a bit uncomfortable. You do kind of want to give it a little bit of time to feel the benefits. So another 2 breaths here. And then you can come out. So we're going to come to lying on our backs. To Baddha-Konasana. So that's where we bring the soles of the feet together. And we're going to lower ourselves if you're not already on the floor. So we're opening up those thighs on the inside this time. It's nice to press down a little bit into the little toe edge. Maybe lift your hips a tiny bit and stretch them forward. Stretch the tailbone forward towards the feet. You could have the hands on the inside thigh or groin area. Quite good to do that. If you're finding this uncomfortable, an option is to pad up under the outer leg, under the knees. they're supported, and then it's more of a sort of restorative stretch, and more actually you get better stretch that way. We will, in a moment, we're going to pick the knees up, so take them towards the ceiling, come onto the soles of the feet. And cross the right leg over the left. And bring the knees in. And we're going to hold, you can hold the ankles or the shins or the feet, or maybe just the knees. So we're more, stretching into the hips. You can roll a little bit. To me, that feels very good. You can also experiment with bringing the knees in more towards your chest and letting them drop away more. Those two options, quite interesting, different ways. If you're very flexible, you can pick your feet up and line them up with your knees. You could try that too. So that's more like cow pose, which we do seated. It's the same sort of shape, but we're lying on our backs. So we will swap legs. So just when you're ready, we cross the legs, pick the knees up. You can hug the knees, you can hug the shins, ankles, or the feet. And to me, it feels very good to sort of roll a little from left to right. And experiment with knees in more and then dropping the knees away. Picking the feet up if you want to. So that they're in line with your knees, and that's a version of Gormukhasana. And then another breath here. And then we're releasing the legs, and we're taking Shavasana. So work your legs really hard tonight. So if you wanted to have them on a chair or perhaps something under the knees to support them a bit, that might be a nice thing to do. Maybe some support under the head as well, if your head rolls back. Just take a little bit of time to get really comfortable. Attention to your, we work very much the lower body, but let's just give the upper body a little bit of attention. You don't want those shoulders to be hunched up. Can you kind of roll them back and down? Maybe squeeze the shoulder blades in a little. Towards the spine. If you have your hands out to the side, then palms up, more open. If your mind is very restless, then maybe you'd enjoy hands on the body, so you can notice the movement of the breath. We are going to just surrender our weight to gravity, or allow gravity to take full effect. So no resistance, no holding back. Maybe even a sense of being pulled down through the back of the calves, through the back of the thighs, through the buttocks. Back of the heart, head. No holding back. Softening around the belly, the jaw, tongue. Become aware of the body breathing. So when you're ready, you can begin to bring some small movements back into the body. And if you're not ready, then just rest as you are. And roll onto your side, pausing there. Slowly come up. And take a comfortable seat. And we're going to just take a Yoni Mudra, so thumb, forefinger interlacing the other fingers. So, and resting down in the pelvic area, around the pelvic floor. Again, sort of keeps the focus in the lower body. And they say it helps you connect to source. Just shining the light of your awareness to this point. And we'll finish by bringing the thumbs together and raising them to the third eye, to the forehead. Opposite end of the body. Drop the weight of your head a little. Thank you very much, everyone. Hope you're all okay.